Hello, world. Welcome to episode 153 of the Jimmy Canz Show. It's prediction time. NXT Vengeance Day this Sunday, the 4th, coming to you from Clarksville, Tennessee. F&M, what is the name of that venue? F&M Bank, something like that.
Some
Arena.
bank, some bank, or some bank arena. I like it.
Yeah. So this card has been kind of ever evolving. They've announced certain matches, then they move the matches and stuff like that. So hopefully we got it locked down now. Um, 6 matches it looks like, and let's get it going here. Kick it off with the finals of the Dusty Cup. You got the team of Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin taking on that Trick Mellow game. Um, which way you gonna go with this one, Rod?
I'm starting it off. Going trick mellow,
Trick Mellow.
mellow.
Um,
It's tough. It's tough. It's a lot.
mhm.
You
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna agree with you on it.
uh, yeah.
So what's your rationale?
Well, it's just looking at which direction I think uh all four of these guys go from here,
Hmm.
and I just see Braun like he's ready with that Royal Rumble
Yeah, that showing
performance.
they gave him at the Rumble was something
Yeah,
else.
yeah, he's ready. He's ready now. And
Now, my understanding is everything he did in the Rumble was
yes,
originally planned for Brock.
yeah, that's who he had. That's where he's ready to be. We need a
Yeah,
new
but I'm just
Brock.
saying that was all originally planned for Brock, and then they pulled Brock because of everything else that's going on
What's going
behind the
on?
scenes.
What's
Yes,
going on behind us? Something's
yeah.
going on.
Yeah. Anybody that's taking the time to listen to this show obviously knows what's going on. We're not going to get into all that. We're just going to talk about the stuff in front of the camera, not
Yes,
behind the
yes,
camera.
yeah,
But
definitely.
anyway,
I don't want to talk about that.
but anyway, yeah, like that. But what's funny with that is because all that stuff was planned for Brock. Because my understanding is it was like beat for beat everything that Braun did in that match. Brock was going to do
Hmm.
even to the elimination aspect of it. So that means that they had originally planned for Dirty Dom Mysterio to eliminate Brock Lesnar.
Well, but I, you know, uh, to me, I like it.
Yeah.
It had it worked out at where it was. I like, and I also like that they see that Braun is. I mean, that's the next Brock, right?
Hmm.
Or Brock, like
Yeah.
he's the next big thing.
Yeah.
He's the
So I mean, the other thing with it too is like, like I said, Braun's ready to go up. Corbin, I don't know what they're doing with Corbin, to be honest with you. I am glad they dropped all the crap gimmick stuff around him, the Constable Corbin, the Happy Corbin, the King
yeah,
Corbin, all that kind of
yeah.
crap. But like they stripped away everything now, and he is just so generic, and he's almost turned into, and this is no disrespect to who I'm going to
Yes,
mention, but he's
yes.
almost turned into this generation's Barry Horowitz.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
wow.
And like I said, that's no disrespect to Horowitz.
Yeah,
Horowitz
but
was role what is, but Corbin was more than that.
I was
Corbin,
about to say where he was projected and his potential, and even
like
his
I said, the fall from grace, so to speak, and
yeah,
now he's
yeah.
just kind of become glorified enhancement talent. And he's more than that. He really is more than that, and he's shown that. And I just don't, I don't know how you get it back because like right now he's Barry Horowitz. And that's sad. And
Yeah,
then
because you know how I was high on the Lone Wolf when
yeah,
he first came to the NXT.
yeah. And then but like I said, I do agree with you, Trick Mello. I mean, I think ultimately, there's going to be a fracture there, but it doesn't happen yet. We'll get into that down the road. So let's just keep going on here.
All right, all right.
Next up, we'll discuss the 6-person tag. You got the family, which is your NXT tag champs, Tony D and Stacks, joined by Adriana Rizzo, taking on OTM, who will be joined in their corner by Scripps. And then you got a new female member of OTM in uh, Janae Parker. So, which I'm gonna go with the family on this one. They're the current tag champs, so I just think it makes sense that the tag champs go over here and look strong as we move into WrestleMania season with Stand and Deliver, where they're going to have to probably have a title defense.
All right. Now I'm going a different way. I'm going OTM.
Okay.
I'm going OTM, and one of the main reasons is because I want to be different from you,
All
and we'll leave it at that for now.
right. Trying to hold on to that belt.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, next up, North American Championship, former champion Dragon Lee taking on the breakout tournament winner, the young up and coming powerhouse Obafemi. Which way you going, Rod?
I wrestled with this one for a bit. Uh,
Only to recapture it.
Dragon Lee. I think with the kind of his experience with that North American title, it wouldn't be too far of a stretch for him to get it back. So
I think they're really high right now on Obafemi. I think he's the future of NXT right now, especially if they're going to be calling up a lot of people. Like, looks like they're going to be calling up. He just won the breakout tournament. He just captured that title. I'm going Obafemi to retain. I think he is the future of NXT right now.
here we go. So one thing we know we're gonna have a couple differences here
Oh yeah, absolutely.
right out the
So
gate.
yep, yep. Next up for the NXT Women's Championship, you got former champion, never lost the title, actually, was never defeated per se for the title. I should say not never lost because she was involved in the match, but she wasn't involved in the finish. Prodigy Roxanne Perez taking on current champion Laya Valkyria. Um, for me, I am going to go with Roxanne. I think honestly, they wanted this to be Lyra versus Cora Jade, and then Cora got hurt and she's going to be out of action for a while. I think the plan was to put it on Cora. I think they wanted to move the championship on, so they're just going to kind of continue with that same process, but this time using Roxanne instead of Cora.
I'm going Roxanne too. I feel like um you definitely got. I think that for a while they wanted to make Roxanne also. They've always wanted to present her as a sort of a how do you say, like one of the top members of their female locker room.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a good opportunity. I definitely she's grown on me some
Mm-hmm.
from then originally how I felt about Roxanne, but because
Got a
I
little more
felt
edge now.
yeah, and I felt like they were trying to make her be a powerhouse. When I didn't see it as much, but I see it more now. I'm buying it more now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm rocking with Roxanne on this.
All right. Next up, match that was just made last night. It's a no disqualification match taking with Joe Gacy taking on Dijak. Um, which way you going, Rod?
Going Dijak.
Yeah.
Going Dijak.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I mean, Dijak needs this. I'll be honest with you. He's his character is supposed to be this powerful powerhouse. Take no, not, and he's just been losing way too much. I mean, if that character is going to be what they want it to be and how they originally presented it, he needs to get some
Hmm.
wins. He needs to get some wins. He lost to Eddie Thorpe in his, in the NXT Underground stuff. He lost
Hmm.
to Dragon. I mean, like I said, he's lost too much to be a credible, thumper.
Yes. Yeah. 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 You gotta build some momentum at some point.
Exactly.
So I agree. I think it starts. I think it starts this weekend.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then last but not least, for the NXT Championship, Trick Williams pulling double duty here tonight as he challenges Ilya Dragunov for that NXT title. Trick having earned that opportunity at Deadline in the Iron Survivor Challenge. For me, I am going to pick Ilya to retain. I think Mello comes out in this one, and the referee is distracted by it, and uh, Trick has a pin, but the referee is not paying attention. So there's the visible pin there for Trick to keep Trick strong. He gets up to, to get the referee and see, hey, what the heck's going on type of thing. And then turns around, ends up taking the, what is it? The,
Yeah.
headbutt Moscow or an H bomb and a 1, 2, 3, and Dragunov wins in that way. It's a clean win. Like there's no cheating that happens. He was just kind of
Just
distracted.
distraction. Just
Yeah,
distracted by his own camp. No
yeah,
less. Too. So it's really not.
yeah. So I mean that, and then like I said, it helps further things along with Mello and Trick. I think that, like I said, they're eventually ending up in a clash. I don't think it is the complete fallout here. I think that probably, they just won the Dusty Cup, so that means they get a tag title opportunity. I think whenever that title opportunity happens, that's when the complete fracture happens.
So I, it's interesting.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going with Trick,
Okay.
and for the same reason, but on the other end.
Okay.
So I think that Trick and Mello win the tag titles,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Trick wins the NXT title, and
Okay.
that's what promotes the breakup.
Okay.
I think tag champions, when only one has a singles title, right, can also lend itself to that similar. Uh,
Well, I mean, but if that's the like, he's going to have that singles title before they even have the tag title because, like I said, they just won the opportunity here tonight.
yeah, yes. So I think, I think it winds up with them having both, with them
Mm-hmm.
having the tag titles and Trick as the NXT champion, and I think that you build the strife, continue to build on it from there.
Okay. All right. So, all that being said, we've got three differences on the card here tonight. You've got OTM. I got the family. You're taking Dragon Lee to capture the title. I got Femi to retain. And you got Trick capturing the title. And I got Ilya to retain. So we'll see how that all works out. Real quick before we talk about what we got coming up down the pike next, what are your thoughts and reactions to the Rumble?
The crowd was the worst ever. Crowd was
Yes and no, yes and no. I mean, they pop for certain things, but then they were kind of apathetic for other things. I mean, like that was a huge pop for Jordan Grace.
Yeah, and by worst ever, I mean just more on an overall backdrop to the event, as an
Mm-hmm.
overall backdrop to the event. There
Mm-hmm.
were there were definitely some pops, like you could, like even Naomi
Yep, Naomi,
got a
exactly.
good welcome, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it's the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like a lot of times like it was stuff would happen. You could hear the ring, you could hear the impact on the ring too much. That's how like how quiet it was in there. And
Mm-hmm.
that was my kind of biggest thing. I don't think the matches were bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd, because when I watched Raw the next night, the crowd was alive.
Yeah.
That crowd was live. The Raw at the Rumble. So the
Mm-hmm.
Rumble itself was okay. It was kind of, and then I think it's kind of tough anytime you have a guy win it back to back,
Mm-hmm.
because the first time he wins it is when everybody kind of has the most interest.
Mm-hmm.
Then for him to have to win it again the next year, apparently usually that means something went wrong. He didn't cash in on
Mm-hmm.
this opportunity. It just, I don't know. It was, and I think Sami Zayn coming out at 30 when all the crazy rumors that we had, and like I say, unrealistic rumors, a lot of them.
Yep.
Unrealistic, a lot of them. But
Mm-hmm.
with I think the anticipation of all that, and none of it, like none of those names really coming to fruition. It just, I've had more fun at a lot more Royal Rumbles.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I not to say I didn't like the show. You know what I mean? I did enjoy the show, but I have had, better enjoyment from other Rumbles. I think there were more surprises in other Rumbles in the past, which changes things a little bit. I think a lot of things were a little too predictable, as well with this one in terms of the. I mean, you only had two undercard matches, uh, outside of the two Rumble matches, and let's be honest. I mean, Roman hasn't had a clean win in probably, I,
2 years.
I mean, yeah, 2.5 years or whatever. It's like you make a big deal about the length of this reign, but it's like you got to give him a couple of clean wins every once in a while.
Well, all I can think of is I'm sure that the only argument to that is Flair.
Yeah, but Flair, I mean, even with Flair, Flair didn't have a almost 4 year run.
This is true. But and I guess though that's the only way because now think of the alternative, right? What if he was like literally cleanly beating everybody for the last 4 years like that?
Well, I'm not saying like, I'm not saying never,
Yeah,
you know what
but
I
get a
mean? But
get a
like I said,
couple of them in there,
you gotta have some clean wins every once in a while.
or at least one where like how we was talking about potentially with Trick and Mello, like where it's not necessarily like you don't have to get physical. Like it could be a distraction sometimes. They could have
Mm-hmm.
it where they could have had him a couple, and I'm not sure. I have to try to remember where he was maybe in some triple threats, and the guys got in each other's way,
Mm-hmm.
and he was able to clean one of them up. But it's kind of clean because it's a triple threat, like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in there would be nice.
Yeah. But yeah. So come back. We've got Elimination Chamber coming up. We'll be off and running toward WrestleMania weekend with Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania 40. Uh, it's going to be interesting to see what direction they go in now. I mean, with the injury to Punk, that kind of derailed things. I think that, some of those promos on Raw on Monday were some of the best that I've heard in many, many years. You know, it would seem like a no-brainer with Cody going after Roman. And now Seth has made, caused pause. Uh,
And not. I'm sorry, but it made me think. I think that they're going to wind up going that way
which way?
so with the Punk injury, right?
Mm-hmm.
What two matches can you go with now to sell Mania, right? Those 2 nights of Mania. If you want to go with the championships as the main event for both nights, I know they might not, but
Mm-hmm.
for the men's championships, you can go Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins,
Mm-hmm.
and if they can get The Rock and Roman, you still have a huge show.
But here's the only thing with that is how do you get The Rock in there right now in terms of like what do you do with the chamber? Like the chamber is
Hmm.
turned into that, oh, you win the chamber to get the opposite match from who the Royal Rumble winner chose. I don't see Rock traveling all the way to Australia to participate in the chamber.
That's one way he has participated in the chamber, but it's also on the and here's the thing. Now I will say this: you got to get this promotion started quickly, right? Because you try to sell these WrestleMania tickets, so
They're
you
already
get.
sold. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, WrestleMania anymore sells itself. In
Hmm.
the past, it used to be, oh, we got to get this card announced, and the card was announced, or at least the main event was announced before tickets really went on sale. Now, those tickets go on sale so soon, and it's a bucket list thing for people to go to a WrestleMania.
Got you.
So, those
So
tickets
it
sell themselves.
so if that's the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Moving with that kind of pattern of thinking, what they could do then if it's already sold out,
Mm-hmm.
and they still want to deliver The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't have to be in the chamber. You can have Drew McIntyre, somebody win the chamber, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and have Rock come back after that,
Mm-hmm.
win the opportunity from Drew, or make it a triple threat with Drew,
Mm-hmm.
and you get him in after the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So the person so somebody wins the opportunity at the chamber,
Mm-hmm.
and just thinking out loud. Like I say, the more I think of
Yeah.
it, I'm just
Yeah. Yeah.
eh,
I'm
eh,
listening.
if you make it a triple threat, that helps to cover Rock from not being in the ring for so long because he can do a lot of kind of outside the ring stuff, pop up, go hot real quick, and somebody knock him out, and he's down again, and kind of let Drew and Roman fight. You know,
Yeah.
you can hide him a lot in the triple threat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
so
how's this for a potential women's chamber? All
okay,
right. Um, Naomi,
okay,
Naya,
okay.
Bianca,
I see it. I see it.
Liv,
Yeah.
Jade,
Hmm.
and Becky.
I mean that has more star power than anything I think the guys can put together right now.
I mean, no, I think the guys could have. I mean, the Punk thing hurts because there's one spot that you still have to try to figure out. I think what they're probably the original plan was Punk, McIntyre, Zayn, Randy, LA, and AJ. I think that was probably the original plan. But now with Punk being out of the mix, you got to figure out who fills that sixth spot. I mean,
Hmm.
maybe you throw Jay Uso into that sixth spot. Uh, and then, you can have some type of shenanigans where somehow Jimmy gets into the chamber and ends up costing Jay, and that can set up Jimmy versus Jay for Mania.
Do you think? I like that. First of all, I
Yeet,
love that.
yeet versus no yeet.
I mean, and the face-offs and the posters leading the Mania is going to be sick with that matchup.
Uh,
Do you think they throw Braun in there?
Braun Breaker.
Yes.
I don't know. Not 100% sure. I think, with this card being in Australia, I think we're going to see a lot of the Australian competitors, involvement, how
Hmm.
they are able to work them all in. I mean, obviously Rhea's going to have a defense. I don't know if they can figure out a way to justify Rhea versus Indy.
Yeah.
Two Australian natives going at it there. Crowd would be super, hot. Uh, Maybe you figure out a way to put Bronson Reed in something. There's another
Hmm.
Australian.
Hmm.
Grayson Waller. Got to figure out something with him. Uh, that those are all your Australians right now. Um, but like I said, I think all of them are going to get on this card somehow. It's just like in what capacity and how do you figure out how to do it. Putting Indy in the chamber match, I don't think would make sense. I think they need to figure out a way to get her, a title opportunity some other way. I don't know what that would be, but yeah, that's just where my head is. I just don't see her again, like with the other women I mentioned right there. It was you take one of those women out and plug it into Hartwell. It's like one of these things is not like the others.
maybe hey, so
And
because
it's no disrespect to her. I'm sorry if it comes off that way. I think she's a phenomenal work. She's just not there yet. You know what I mean? She
yeah,
doesn't have the same
not on that level,
gravitas.
not on that
Yeah.
level, not
She
on
doesn't
that
have the
level.
same gravitas yet.
No, not at all. Hey, that's hilarious. So one of these things is not like this. Which one
Yeah.
of these? And you have to ask the audience which one of these things is not like this.
And then, I mean, here's the other thing I think, as we start to move toward Mania, I think, you know, the battle royals, they've kind of moved those onto, Raw and SmackDown the week of, and they're not really even part of the show anymore, the Andre Battle Royal. But you need something because you want to get as many people, that Mania involvement as possible to give them their Mania paydays and all that kind of stuff. What if, it's 2 nights now. What if the kickoff show each night, all right, one night you do a women's tag team gauntlet match.
Okay.
The winner of the gauntlet match then ends up getting a women's tag title opportunity later that evening. And then the same, then
Hmm.
you do a men's tag team gauntlet match, and the winners of that get the men,
Hmm.
opportunity later that evening. Like I said, one on night one on night two. Gives you something for the kickoff show. Gives everybody an opportunity to get out there. Sets up those tag matches.
Yeah, we need more stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We need more stuff like
Because,
that.
like I said, there's a lot of tag teams right now, and like, how else do you really get them involved? I mean, and to throw all those tag teams into a battle royal doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're tag teams for a reason. Let them be tag teams. I mean, you could have, like with the men's, you have the Creeds, you got the Alpha Academy, Pretty Deadly. Um,
Would you say NXT's tag team division is as strong as the main rosters?
I mean, right now NXT's tag division. I mean, you got the family, with the titles. You got OTM. Like, who else is another established tag team? I mean, like you
Mm.
look at the Dusty Classic right now. It's two singles wrestlers thrown together and two single wrestlers thrown together, and they had to put the LWO down, in the to NXT to find another tag team, to put into the brackets there. Uh,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
mean,
I remember once upon a time now, you go back to the revival days, like NXT tag
mhm,
team division was popping.
yeah. I mean, I would love them to do, again, some fantasy booking here, something with, um, Legato against the LWO at Mania, where it's like a mixed 8-person tag, because there's enough. You've got Santos, Humberto, and Angel, and now they brought up Electra Lopez. So there's their four, and then with the LWO, you could do Joaquin, Raul, Ray, and Zelina.
Yeah.
Like I said, and then Lashley and the Prophets right now, scrapping with the
Hmm.
the final testament.
Yes, Lord.
That right there, that'd be a great 6-man.
Yes, Lord.
Authors of Pain and Carrion against Lashley and the Street Profits. There's a
That
6-man for Mania.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was about to say that's it's now Mania this year feels like it has more riding on it because of how that Royal Rumble crowd sabotaged
Mhm.
inadvertently. I don't think they did it on purpose, but just by who they
And
were.
and like I said, this Mania being in Philadelphia and everything, like Philadelphia is one of those cities that has that big buzz to it. Like, all indications are that next year's Mania is going to be in Minneapolis. Like, Minneapolis, like, doesn't have that same gravitas as Philadelphia.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Philadelphia has all this history with the
yeah,
U.S., with the Constitution, with the Liberty Bell, and all that kind of stuff. Like, Minneapolis has snow.
yeah.
So, you can't wait on some of these things, I don't think, for next year. Like, if you were to try and wait and do Rock Roman next year,
Yeah,
Rock Roman in Minneapolis or Rock Roman in Philadelphia.
yeah. Turn it
You
up
know what I
this year.
mean?
You got to
And
turn
like
it
I
up
said,
this
I
year.
don't even know if they're going to do that. I think that ultimately they're going to do the Cody thing. I'll be honest with you. I think, you know, they're doing the, Willie won't he pause for intrigue, the Seth stuff. No, no, seriously, because here's what it is going to be like. Everything Seth said in that promo was valid.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? In terms of, but what Cody can come back with, and be like, that undisputed title, has the lineage. You talk about a workhorse title. It has the lineage of Bruno Sammartino. It has the lineage of Bret the Hitman Hart. It has the lineage of Bob Backlund. It has the lineage of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It has the lineage of The Rock. And then he can look at Seth, even if then he goes, and it has the lineage of you. He's like, I'm going after Roman because I want to bring that prestige back. I want both these titles to be workhorse titles.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
So
Like, he
so
can kind of just spin it back around on him. He's like, you've made that a workhorse title. I want to bring that back to being a workhorse title.
mhm. Which it should not be. There should be one pageant title and one workhorse title. Because and here's why. Because they've gone so big with their organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they got two shows and this, that, and the third. It used to be that the one world title was the pageant title and
Mm-hmm.
the intercontinental title was the worker title. Well,
Mm-hmm.
the intercontinental title's been bumped down now because you got two major titles.
Well, yes and no, because Gunther's turned that Intercontinental title into something too with a 500-day reign.
Correct. But just by like if we were playing spades or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
those two worlds, the main titles are obviously above the intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them is more of a working world title, and one is that pageantry still.
Mm-hmm.
So, so if we turn Roman's belt into a working belt, and then Seth keeps it as a worker, and then you got Gunther working, like we don't have no pageantry belt, everything's being defended all the time, and
The United Oh, he only shows up every.
So that's real. That's, I think you, but I think you got to keep one now. If here's interesting. If Cody goes after Roman,
Hmm.
it would be, I think Dan would be a great opportunity because it is a Seth storyline. He's injured his body, his back. We still,
It's
do we
not a
still,
storyline. I mean, he legitimately, messed up his knee, so they're kind of keeping him out of the ring so his knee can heal, so he can work Mania.
yeah. So that's the thing though, right? Like his body's kind of, just he's had the knee before, he's had
Hmm.
the back, now the knee again, right? I don't know if it's the same knee or different knee, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
it would be a good opportunity to have Braun Breaker win at WrestleMania.
I mean,
If
I think, like I said, with the Punk injury, throwing a monkey wrench in things, I think that honestly, the best option there would potentially maybe be Gunther to take on Seth, but then like, how do you get the IC title off of him, or is he going to be a dual champion?
I think now I I'll buy Gunther as a double champion.
Yeah.
I'll buy Gunther. He's that dominant. He's that
But
dominant.
then you eliminate the IC title from being defended at Mania
Well, he maybe he let me see. No,
because
no.
he can't go to Chamber at all because of his green card situation. He can't travel to Australia right now.
So maybe he wins at Mania. We just have it's defended against the world title. You know what I mean? Like because we have enough matches and titles. Like there's still the U.S. title. There's still the Universal title. There's still, like we can have those two go against each other. And we haven't had that in a while. That's something that a little different angle. We haven't had that secondary title champion versus the main title, the big title champion in a
Yeah, the
while.
champion versus champion. Yeah.
Yeah, those two particular levels.
Mm.
So and to
I mean,
have
it's funny like how they decide to do those situations when they do have champion versus champion situations. Like with Brock and Roman, they unified it. With the tag titles, they unified it. When they did the
yeah,
NXT women's tag titles and the main tag titles, they unified it. But when they did, Becky and everything like that, they didn't unify those women's titles.
you have to
She was
give up
Becky
one.
two belts, but
Okay.
it was each one was still, and she had to defend each one separately. So
Well,
it's
if back in the days they used to make you drop one of them.
yeah, but I'm just saying, it's just like, there just is no rhyme or reason as to when they decide to do a unification as opposed to, oh no, I'm just going to carry two belts and defend both of them. So
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, we kind of got off on it right there.
No, that's I think that's the kind of discussion that everybody wants to hear our thoughts on.
Yeah. So give us your picks on Vengeance Day down below as well. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe. Wherever you are, we hope you're doing well. Take care of one another, and we'll see you when we see you.
We see you.